Again here, and I just going to tell you about a little something again, and that little something is political correctness. It is not good. I mean, political correctness has been around for ever since man has had politics. It was probably around during the caveman era. Somebody decided something was politically incorrect. You know, I mean, everything, if a leader or certain political group doesn't like something, they declare it bad and evil, not doing any research or true study on it, or it's just simply because they hate it and it's bad. And they, 9 times out of 10, they can't explain to you why it is bad. No, they can't, folks. I mean, they try to push everything, and I don't care whether it's communists or Nazis or theocratists or whatever. I mean, true libertarianism means thinking on your own. They don't get that. What the libertarians, what used to be called the classic liberal, they still exist. It's just they're shouted down by the so-called progressives. And these so-called progressives are not very progressive at all. No, they're not. As a matter of fact, they're rather regressive. They want to go back to something almost in medieval times. You take a good example of the way the world works is, you ever hear of impressment? Ever hear of that? It used to go on during medieval times, but it still goes on today. They try to force people into things that they don't want to do. And that's not a good thing. I mean, it's walking into the village and taking the guys who are young enough to fight. I mean, that isn't just in the movie Aragon or in the fourth Rambo movie. It exists in reality. I mean, they say, well, it's going to happen here in the United States if we're not careful. Now, I'm all for selective service and all like that, but it should be used only in time of real, honest-to-goodness war, not little police actions like we're doing now or like we did during the Vietnam era. But the thing is, they go in, they want to impress you into service doing other things. That's not volunteering, that's being voluntold. Nobody likes that. That concept is kind of frightening if you think about it. And, it's not good. Then there's this thing that they say, if you don't believe in this certain thing, you're an enemy of humanity. No, you're not. You just have your own opinion and you disagree with somebody. But consensus is not the solution to everything. It is to some things, but it isn't to other folks. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't mean to, but it doesn't convey talent. It doesn't convey scientific fact. 9 out of 10 scientists agree. Did they do research on something? Did they do actual studies? Did these experiments they do have control groups or anything like that? If they didn't, then their scientific value is nil. I mean, they said, well, we fed 100 rats cyanide and they all died. Duh. Or we gave those. We asked 500 people. Oh, where were these people that you asked? These 500 people where you asked, were they in an area where the places was predominantly in your favor, and you did that purposely? Well, that's something you have to think about, folks. I mean, is it really research or is it really BS? 9 times out of 10, most researchers and polls are stilted to the favor of the pollster. I mean, they're not, which means that they're not scientific, you know? And I hate to say this, we live in a society where this is done, and and that's just sad. They wonder why. Sometimes they say that, well, the poll said this, and then they get and when the election or or something happens, it turns out the exact opposite of their polls. I'll let you go now. See how you talk to you later.